Okay. Hey, listen.
I wouldn't call this beef.
DEJON,
I don't beef with anybody
now,
black, but
I love the messy shit, man. Go ahead.
A lot of people been tagging me in this clip, and I guess we won't play the clip, but I'll play the audio from the clip. Is that okay?
This one?
No, that one. Yeah,
that one.
Oh yeah, I'll play the audio from it. It's on my phone. Oh, you can do it.
My accomplishments and what I'm doing in life. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you say it like that, you basically saying fuck me.
Only to follow your footsteps. I'm just trying to get all that just to follow my nigga footsteps. What's going on?
I feel like
do we got the same traction AD got yet? I'm waiting.
Oh,
can I get another foot? Can I get another white claw?
Now look, if y'all ain't familiar with it, it was a situation to where this dude, DEJON, was sitting down in an interview with AD and Rell. And somewhere during the interview, he pretty much tried to insult Rell and AD in the form of like, well, not in the form, but like he called them employees, right? And he wasn't really putting no respect with it. He was like just being like a sarcastic guy. You know, like how people that don't really be trying to be violent physically, so they be like slick and sharp with the whole insult game with the words. That's what I had gathered from it, you feel me? So why they joking about it is because now he's up there being a no jumper employee, you feel me? So I'm just giving y'all a small kind of breakdown if y'all not familiar with it. So that's why it's kind of funny to all of us when they saying that. But if you keep up with Rell, that's a joke that everybody know that's a joke Rell was gonna spit. You know what I mean? Like I thought about that when I first seen him show up. Like, dang, he up there at no jumper? Like he was kind of acting like, you know, he was on some like kind of like some racial type stuff, like people working for the white man and employee and empowering the black and I don't know, like, you know. So I could see the joke and the humor of it, even if he didn't necessarily show up there or have intent to be up there at no jumper from the get-go. Only he know that truth. I don't know.
Today he woke up and told violence.
Is that like? About Rell's friends?
No, would you look at that? Would you look at that like a? Would you look at that like a tricking you out your position type of conversation? Like the nigga tricked y'all out your position, like made y'all feel little, just to really, like he really wants y'all spot type shit.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it could be one of those things. It could be one of those things, and just kind of like.
Hey, so who's smarter then?
But no, it could almost, you know what I'm saying, just like highlight how ignorant these niggas is and look at it. But or you feel me? They not taking advantage of the situation. I've heard it. And I think I should be in this situation, and I think I can. You know what I'm saying? I could.
It was definitely you're trying to diminish my accomplishments and what I'm doing in life. You get what I'm saying? So if you say,
I'm lost.
So context?
Yeah.
Basically, when I had real quick, when I had my first interview here at No Jumper, Rell is the one who invited me. I put out the report card January 11th. I've talked about this thousands of times, including in my interview with Adam. January 11th, 2022, I put out the LA rap report card, excuse me. Rell DM'd me sometime after that, like, hey, pull up to No Jumper. We want to interview you about it. I'm like, great, let's talk about hip-hop. Love to do it. Pulled up. They didn't want to talk about the report card. They wanted to talk about people that they called. They said, we called around and did our research on you, and everybody's saying negative things about you, about your character. And they started talking about all these DJs and how these DJs felt about me. They didn't want to talk about the rappers on the report card. And Rell said, instead of focusing on them, why don't you do a podcast? You should focus on yourself and do a podcast, do a YouTube. I've had a podcast since 2020. The interview happened January 2022. So you didn't even do your research on the person you invited up here to interview. So I say in retort to him, I didn't come here for corporate consulting from employees. For the past 2 years, they've been taking this employee word and using it as like a weapon. Like I was trying to insult them when I was just setting a boundary. So if you could slide over to the second clip.
Or just play the first one first.
What do you say?
In this clip, so I interviewed with them again in February 2023, a year later.
Is it something that they should be frowned upon with, or should they be able to go? Are you preaching and teaching them to go start their own platform?
Of course, obviously, as well as when have I ever denounced or made it seem like it was a negative thing to be an employee? I never said that. I said a preference or boundary with you, which was I don't take corporate consulting from employees, meaning someone who didn't research their guests to know that he had a podcast. Can't tell me how to run my platform. That's all that was. It wasn't a denouncement of employees. I wouldn't know what happened to y'all.
And I think that we took it.
Business.
We both took it.
Don't say we say.
I took it.
All right.
Offense to that. You know what I mean? Because I was like, is he coming over here trying to shit on us? And
why would I do that?
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I said. I'm gonna apologize to you.
What do you say?
Okay.
To the
that's nice. He apologized.
People that work.
They
apologized.
Yeah, I got an apology on camera. So why now? This was February 2023.
Okay.
Why now is it a problem that I called you an employee because I'm working here? I never.
See, the fact that AD apologized on how he may have took that, and T-Rell pretty much stated that he wasn't mad at all, that it shows that up to today situation that they just making jokes about it. You got to understand that the whole situation get brought back to life once you go up there to work at No Jumper. It's just something that we can't ignore. You know what I'm saying? Again, people might not mean you no harm or no disrespect, but for the life of just humor and podcasting and shooting the stuff, it's something that got to be on the table. You know what I mean? Because you was so taking a certain type of approach, and now you up there working at No Jumper. And again, like I said, even if it may not be true, it's just something that can kind of slide in as a good joke. Just a quick little, a thought, not a deep thought, but just off the shallow end, that's kind of funny. And then it probably can have people's minds wondering. But I think he's taking it more serious and more offended than AD and T-Rell and all them. But it's finna roll in some more to where he pretty much get the disrespect in them.
I said it was an issue with being an employee. I said I didn't come here for a corporate consultant from an employee. You can't tell me to do a podcast when I've been doing a podcast for 2 years. Research, I guess, the same way he didn't research, excuse me real quick, the same way he didn't research the rapper Reason when he went back on Figg. You couldn't name 5 songs from a nigga you interviewing. What are y'all talking about then?
Exactly.
You don't research your guests before they pull up. You just have them pull up and start shit with them. And that's your interview format. That's your style of journalism or whatnot. But that's not me. And I just set a boundary with you in that. Why 2 years later I still got to explain to you what I meant when I said I don't take corporate consulting from employees. It's like they just took one word out the complete sentence.
Yeah.
And so this was my response to that clip about me tricking them out of their position.
Yeah.
So I said, do you think that I tricked? My response, I'm reading it. Do you think that I tricked AD and T-Rell out of their position in No Jumper? Almost 2 years ago, I used the word employee with them while they were employees, and somehow it's still a topic. I already received an apology on this matter during our last interview together in February 2023, while they were in fact still employed at No Jumper. If my using of the word employee towards them back in January 2022 was so important and meaningful, why did they continue to work at No Jumper for well over a year afterwards and interview me again? Why not quit the day after I called you an employer or put in your 2-week notice right after that interview? For years, I hurt my own career demanding and protesting for black DJs to be hired on Power 106. They still don't have any black DJs up there with a regular time slot, a regular schedule, or a black morning show, none of that, which would technically make these black DJs employees of a white-owned platform. Would it not? So it's okay for me to fight for black DJs to get jobs and opportunities, but God forbid I make some money and I get my...
No, it's coming off like you on some whole supreme black power, cause you throwing race and stuff around. So when you start throwing race around, it make it like a weird type of topic, you know what I mean? Cause people don't represent that. I don't, So you acting like you calling people like employees to a white person and this everybody at the radio station. It's like it just no one would assume that you would go up there and work for a white ran company the way you kind of throwing it as a jab at everybody else that's in that position. Now you may not mean that, but that's how you delivering it. So that's why, he got to just keep it a Benji with yourself, my man.
A paid opportunity. That's hate. But hey, if you see it as me tricking them out of their position, that's what's up. I got rappers to grade. I'm doing business. I'm not focused on something I said in an interview 2 years ago in retort to you not doing your homework on me and knowing that I have a podcast. Don't ever tell me to go do a podcast when I have a podcast. That's not journalism.
That's a respectable answer.
Yeah.
Like, that's very
What do you think,
DEJON.
AJ?
That's a very DEJON answer.
Okay. This is, I could tell you type emails just by the way that you respond.
This is a very DEJON answer.
That's number one. Okay, so it's a little...
And you know, I want to say something real fast on defense of T-Rell and AD on the whole interview with him, where DEJON felt like he should have made the whole interview should have been based more about his product or his talent or whatever he was trying to be about. Like, you know, it's whatever he's delivering and putting out there. But we in a time to where some people do love your talent. Some people love your like you know, like your stuff that you bring to the table, product or whatever. But it's more about personality. So I feel like, you know, even with the TDE Reason situation, I felt like T-Rell and them, like, more so, like, you know, when you get with everybody else, all those press runs is gonna be about the whole direct core of what you talking about or whatever you got going on. And people will throw that in there for the most part, but I feel like they trying to give everybody an opportunity to show their personality, you know? Because they know we in the time, in the space right now, in this content space, to where it's like that personality is the thing. This is why, like, Crip Mac and them, Crip Mac is as great as what he is. This is why China Mac is great. This is why people love tuning in to the whole Figmunity world, because it's the personality. You know, yeah, sometimes people love to talk. This is why they got, like, you know, like 6, 7, I might be just throwing numbers out there, but this is why they got like a gang of shows, and, you know, they just do the personality thing, and then, you know, they got a show with the news that's pretty much based upon just topics itself. But even with that, they just selling personality, you know? So I understand it, and I'm not saying that DEJON wrong for not just wanting to be about whatever he got going on. You know, that's kind of like the same situation with ESTG and Bootleg Kev, where ESTG just wanted to be about like the music and all that, but Bootleg Kev was into his personality. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying who right or who wrong, but I just understand it from both perspectives.
It's kind of two ways, right? So, like, black people, we definitely have a thing with, like, being called employees. So you were taking a dig at them.
No, I wasn't.
No. No. I'm talking about objectively. If you're looking at it from the outside, so it's like
I don't feel like that was a dig.
It all depends on how they internalize it, right?
They
were employees.
They are. That's true. That's true. So let me finish though.
Really.
Okay.
So it's like, this is like, y'all are just playing like a content game at this point, back and forth. You don't want to play. You don't want to play.
They were talking shit.
But they're just.
I don't play games.
They were fucking with you, and you threw.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing though. They're playing though. They're playing. You're taking it too serious.
See, I don't even know who that dude is, but he's saying the same thing that I was saying. They playing, and you taking it too serious, bro. But he talking about he don't play games. So I guess, you know, let's see what happens.
Seriously. I think.
I'm taking it too serious. The guy that reached his grab for his gun.
I was just finna say, do you give a fuck about what they say anyway?
Like they taking it serious.
I got my apology. I stopped caring after I got my apology. I'm telling you, I stopped caring after I got my apology.
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm just asking you, do you give a fuck about what these niggas got to say, feel, or anything anyway?
And my answer to that is, after he apologized in this clip to me in February 2023, I stopped caring about the situation. You apologized for how you reacted to me. I called you employee. You reaching your back like you got a gun.
I'm not talking about what you care about the situation.
It's a viral clip.
My nigga, I ain't talking about the situation. I'm talking about him, period.
Okay, so for the 1,000th time, Cat, I'm telling you, when he apologized to me in that room in February 2023, this year, while working here as an employee, I stopped caring. You apologize.
Right, well, I'm going to tell you then. Yeah. It ain't even worth addressing. And it damn sure ain't worth that book right there you just wrote.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
This is honestly, like, I did a rant just now, 5 minutes on a bitch. You know,
I made a concise Instagram post.
Eloquently said how he felt, and that was good. And what I feel like is that you're really nice and you're really business. So I feel like people feel like they can fuck with you, throw shots with you, and you're not going to really hit back. And what you did is, you hit back in a way. It's not really throwing a shot, but it's just a hit back from the treatment that you were getting on there.
Why don't you just actually throw shots?
They was hassling you.
Nigga, that's a polite message.
I'm DeJohn Paul. DeJohn Paul does what DeJohn Paul wants to do. That's just what it is. At the end of the day, I built my platform based off music. Cuhmunity, that's a Crip. You're promoting Crip behavior, Crip lifestyle. Back on Figg, that's Hoover or pimping, street culture. Whole fashions, that's prostitution. So the three people, no jumper personalities that I had conflict with once I put out my report card, their names weren't on the report card. I didn't give them Fs, so I don't understand why I had to go against them when I put out I'm good right now, when I put out the report card, because I didn't put your name.
Now, what does that got to do with you, DeJohn Paul? You like the type of person to where it's like, you really just speaking hate. It seems like you hating on their campaign, because Gina Views be on a lot of great platforms. Like, she be a part of a lot of great situations, you know? It's a lot of things that I may not agree with, but I'm giving her flowers on what statuses and stuff she be reaching. And as far as her promoting whole fashions, this is just a lot of people choosing to live their truth out. Like, if people got a secret or a story or a time that they willing to publicly expose, where they pretty much was doing like some whole type stuff, then let people tell their truth. It ain't about nobody promoting no prostitution, but you got a problem with that, but you'll go up there and work for Adam, but their whole campaign is plug talk. He just, you know, he up there acting like he trying to, you know, he like selling his wife. And I'm not, no offense, Adam and them, you know, but I'm just saying, you picking and choosing. And then you talking about they promoting Crip in the community and all this and this and that. Nah, dummy, because if they wanted to promote Crip, then that's what they'd just say. Like, yeah, this is Crip. But you're hating on the fact that they're representing their background and where they come from. That is where they come from. Figg represent the staples. Hoover ain't the only gang on Figueroa. A lot of people got stories and stuff like that from Figueroa. It's like, it's not just a person promoting that, but you gonna promote everything that you got to do, that got to do with you, or what you represent, or where you come from, and that's just that. You just said that DeJohn Paul's do what DeJohn Paul likes to do. So you got to respect that when everybody else do it. It ain't like they sitting up on there talking about Hoover this and F that. They ain't on there talking about this Crip this and this that. That's not what program they run. Them guys have been showing love and having interactions and sitting down and opening up their platforms for people that's from communities that don't get along with their communities. That's the growth that them guys is representing, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I agree with everything they do, but let's just keep it a Benji. Like, you trying to go a nerd route about it and try to bash them out. And I got a clip right here where you was trying to be all in the Hoover politics pertaining to Shorty Shorty.
And got affiliated
That's
there.
what I want to know. Which one is it? Was he already affiliated in Baltimore? Did he come out here, have hot music, and then start affiliating with this? Because to me, that changes the narrative of the music career.
I know, now this is cop shit, but Google this real quick. Baltimore Hoovers.
Watch him spell Hoovers wrong.
What?
Told you.
Yeah. What? Yeah. No, he spelled it right.
But that's 2022. That's 2022.
How do you spell Hoover?
It is. Well, I mean,
no, that's not how it's spelled out here.
H-O-O-V-A. Out the groove.
Wait, what?
I mean, not technically,
Hoover.
but that's just, I'm just in the know.
H-O-O-V-A.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, it does. But, okay.
But, like I said, that it says 2022.
And wait, and this 59?
So it's like, why is you all in their politics? Why is you worrying about how much of a Hoover Shorty is? Why is you like just even speaking about their program? You talking about, look, that's not how you spell Hoover. Like, it sound like you're a person that want to be accepted in anything you choose to try to be in. But you got to earn that position, homie. You ain't acting like a civilian or a normal person when topics come up when you want to seem cool. You talking about that's not how you smell Hoover. What it got to do with you? But you want to sound like you the hippest person in that room, right? That's what I hate about these guys that come out of Los Angeles and they don't really come from no gangbang background or however you flip it, because they just don't understand everything and they be trying to insult people. You know, you just mad because you probably didn't have the courage to go beef from somewhere if you wanted to. You probably tried to before and they probably rejected you. But you acting like you want to be hip about the gang knowledge, but then you just got mad at somebody else for just representing their background and their lifestyle and where they come from. And it seemed like you might be hating that their background done boosted them up longer than you. I mean, higher than you. And you also discrediting them because you talking about you built your platform on music and they built their platform on. No, man, they didn't just build their platform on what you've been seeing lately. AD been doing music for probably a decade or something like that, man. You know, he's on a couple legendary songs and stuff like that, I believe. I could be wrong. I mean, he got songs with like The Game in them. That's like, you know, that's like top ranking at the end of the day. People like Rell. He ran around, went everywhere with Tyga. Pretty much played a big part on, you know, why we all even aware of Tyga. The whole Last King thing and everything all the way through they No Jumper campaign up to now. I mean, even like what Rell got going on for Heather and them with Sorella and everything else they do. And everything that AD and them been doing behind the scenes that we just might not be privy to. You know, AD and them also got the Big Chief stuff going on. So it's like, you really ain't in the same league as them to be trying to like belittle people or insult anybody. Because you're not better than them. I'm not saying that they better than you, but it's like you get in your little feelings, man, and it's like you so upset because it's like you seem like you want to ask for a friendly fade, but you ain't even got the courage for that. Why don't you just ask for a fade with somebody and then just move along? Because you talking about you don't play no games and you do the hoo-wop and you disrespecting people and dropping names and somebody will have you getting fucked up. And you might get fucked up on accident because somebody might just don't like what you were saying. I mean, me personally, I didn't agree with the things you were saying and I took it as you was being too disrespectful. Even like to Gina views, you know what I mean? She is a woman, homie, chill out, relax. You know what I mean? You ain't trying to fight no man. You insulting a woman. You got to fall back a little bit, man. Like the gentleman has said in the background, you taking it seriouser, more serious than them.
Promote being from Hoover, to promote prostitution, to promote slut culture and all that stuff, which is great. It's an audience for everything. That's okay. But somebody comes out with a document talking about hip hop, lyricism, consistency, branding, beat selection, cadence, flow. And that's taboo. That's what everybody got. That's okay. But somebody comes out with a document talking about hip. So I put out my report card. Their names weren't on the report card. I didn't give them Fs. So I don't understand why I had to go against them when I put out I'm good right now. When I put out the report card because I didn't put your name on it. And so it's okay for you to promote cripping, to promote being from Hoover, to promote prostitution, to promote slut culture and all that stuff, which is great. It's an audience for everything. That's okay. But somebody comes out with a document talking about hip hop.
Look how he just so foul with his tongue. You know what I mean? Then he talking about slut and all that. It's like Adam and them is promoting worse than what Gina Views and them is doing, bro. And I'm not disrespecting Gina Views and them, back on Figg, Cuhmunity, or Adam and Lena and them. But if you got a problem with something, how you up there sitting on a platform that's kind of carried by the same type of culture? I mean, No Jumper is built on that same culture, bro. You know, not taking away from what Adam brought to the table, Josh, everybody, House Phone, Blasey, Yuri, Potlore. I'm not taking away from nothing. But one of the biggest things that was bringing that audience was them being so loose with the gang shit and the street shit and the whole whatever sexuality shit, even if everybody don't agree with it. I didn't agree with it all the time, but that's what really helped build that platform that you employed on. So when you like trying to shit on their campaign, you like biting the hand that pretty much fed you. It's like, you know, and I'm not, like I say, the whole BMX, all this and this and that. But it ain't about that. Adam get the credit for being the genius to know how to put all that together so he can capitalize on that. It is what it is. So what are you talking about? You hating on the house. You sitting in the house, working employed in the building, that those bricks that you throwing at them is what builds your platform. Whether it's the plug talk, whether it's the or everything that I brought up for Gina Views, Rell, and Cuhmunity. So it's like you just really hating, my man. You gotta respect the get down at times. You might not like it, and that's your choice and your stance in life. But sometimes you just don't need to bash everything that you don't agree with or that you don't understand, or just because you don't have that. Like, you keep talking about this music document and you trying to make it seem bigger than what it is. Do some people respect it? Yeah. Do others don't? No. Is you getting a little bit better, or is more people giving you flowers? Yeah. You just got to stick to it. But just because you put your hard work in something, that don't mean that everybody going to return that same energy with enjoyment and excitement. Like, you have to build yourself higher up. That's why you want No Jumper, because No Jumper is pretty much going to help you level up. And just be patient, you know? Be respectful and be, you know, learn from where you can learn from. And try not to be such of an anti-guy or come off like a hater.
Lyricism, consistency, branding, beat selection, cadence, flow. And that's taboo. That's what everybody got something to say about. Show me a clip of AD, Rell, or Gina talking anything about any of the negative gang content or slut content.
It's pretty crazy. Tab into
Back on Figg, so we got to figure out they're not selling pussy? They selling watermelon and shit, or are they selling pussy?
That's what people say.
It's young girl. It's obviously, it's young.
See how strong he is about trying to just push that whole prostitution lane and all that? That's not what that podcast is promoting. Is prostitution is getting took place on Figg? Sure, prostitution is taking place everywhere. It's not a street, it's not a place. It's just in different forms and on different levels, and that's the truth in the matter. You wouldn't understand that because you too much on some nerd time. But for you to be acting like that's just what that podcast represent shows that you just hating. It sounds like you ain't even giving the podcast a chance. And again, you can't hate for what works for the next person. If a person loved them for that, then that's what the world and the audience and they subscribers and they viewers love them for. You're not the person that's going to pay their rent. You're not the person that could get them a job opportunity or anything. So why would you be mad? You need to stay in your lane. And you trying to make it seem like you better than them. And you just not, my man. You know, you got to just respect the get down, man. It seemed like you throwing that prostitution word around. You act like some girls maybe didn't like you growing up. Or maybe up to date. Get with you some girls or something, man. I don't know. But it's not fair that you trying to, like, you know, just make it seem like they whole core content is about that. And even if it is, so what? Kev Mac whole channel was based upon gangbanging in history. Street TV built a platform off of gangs and street culture and everything else. And soft white underbelly built his platform off of drug use, prostitution, pimping, gangbanging, everything else. So why you got a problem with people shedding light or being open about the reality of things that's taking place in life? If a person grew up in this type of way, then they can explain that about that and they form from reality. But you making it seem like a person ain't got the right to represent what they know and where they come from or where they experience or things that took an impact on them. It's like people rock with them for a reason because they're not the only people that got that same story. You making it seem like, you know, they just the scum of the earth. And they just bad for the world and they just disgusting. Nah, man, that don't work. Because you in music and you be putting out them report cards. And a lot of that music be putting out disrespect, worse, and all kind of stuff that's 10 times over anything disrespectful or bad influence that them podcasts has done. And I'm not saying that them guys that's doing that music ain't got the right to be entertainers, to be actors, to do what they do through their music. Not bashing them, and I ain't got a problem with it. But I'm saying if you going to be cool with that and you going to just make sure you try to eat and capitalize and get notoriety off of those guys doing whatever they do and saying whatever they do in their music, it's okay because you winning off of it. But since you're not winning off that podcast over there, then all the stuff that they own and what they represent is just disgusting. But a lot of them rappers, in all their words, it might be Crip, might be Blood, might say a op, might say this, and the third. And it's fine as long as you can gain something from it. You just like moving like a hypocrite, man, and that's just a strange thing.
Girls out there, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're promoting Figaro, you're promoting the prostitution on that street and shit like that, and that's cool. Do whatever you want to do, but if I want to talk about hip-hop, why am I getting opposed? Why am I getting opposition from 3 black no-jumper hosts? This is how I'm feeling in January 2022. All I did was post a report card. Like,
and you know, one thing that proves that he's a hater is because back on Figg and them done a couple live shows, right? And one of them flyers, I want to say, or even their intros and stuff, it got Staples Center in the backgrounds and on the flyers and stuff. So that's what they standing on as one of the things, as a landmark from Figueroa Street. But you going into it like they be posting prostitution on the thumbnail, this, that, and the third. Stop the hating, man.
Going back and forth with rappers, that's cool. Yeah. I might have gave him an F or a low score. Yeah. So you're going to argue with rappers about that. But why am I arguing with 3 no-jumper hosts about talking about hip-hop?
Yeah. Because you chose to go up there. That's why you're arguing with them about it. They invited you. You said, yes, I won't go up there.
And that's true. I'm glad he pointed that out. You didn't have to go up there if you didn't want to have these conversations or these debates or whatever it may be. You got to accept what goes on when you want to get up there and use it as a platform to elevate your platform. You know what I'm saying?
That means reaching your bag like you got a gun, like you want to do something.
We're not talking about that.
That means threatening me, say you're going to do whatever you want.
And see, I don't like that because you sitting on here with this nerd stuff trying to fake police and put these weird things about AD and whoever or Rell, and ain't neither one of them act like they was gonna get a gun for you. And everybody know that they don't need no gun for you. And then you giant like everybody knows that they ain't finna shoot you in no podcast or right there or do none of that. And AD fought China Mac. So we pretty much sure that he'll give you a fight if you want to fight. And I'm sure Rell probably will even fight you even though he got one on. And if Rell don't do it, I'm sure Smack will do it for him. Or maybe somebody else. So it's kind of like, it's kind of strange to me, you know?
Beat me up, you're going to do whatever you want to me on camera during the interview. That means have a very unprofessional... No, I'm talking about a very unprofessional interview. That's what I'm talking about. As someone who interviews people for a living, I know how to conduct a professional interview. If I invite somebody up here, one, I know how to research them before they get here. And two, if
we get that. We're not talking about the unprofessional.
I'm talking about... I'm talking about the unprofessional.
Yeah, you're talking about that, but you also just asked the question, why am I arguing with them about this? Because you chose to go up there.
No, talk about it, because that's a
weird... If I had someone else here, I wouldn't be here.
That's a weird interview style to harass your guests, to try to like get them off guard. Like, this is a weird interview style. That's not personally how I
personally, when I sit and I do my interviews, I give everybody off. You know what I'm talking about? Tell all. You know what I'm saying? You can ask me anything.
That show was on at the end of the day as well too. So it's like.
That was a no-jumper interview.
That was just a no-jumper interview.
A viral no-jumper interview.
But I'm saying, though, I'm just saying, when you do go interview, sometimes it's not a polite interview. You know what I'm saying? And different people do have a different way of interviewing.
Right. So why, again, they're talking about something I said back to them. I didn't walk in, hey, employee, you're an employee. That's not good. I said, in retort to you telling me to do a podcast that I'm already doing for 2 years, I said, hey, I didn't come here for corporate consulting from employees. I came here to be interviewed. Let's talk about this report card. Let's talk about some music. You want to keep talking to me about people that you know don't fuck with me, that you called and talked to on the phone. You got time to call somebody on the phone and say, hey, I don't like DEJON, like some high school girls. Then you got time to Google me and see that I have a podcast. You want to keep talking about people that don't like me. I want to talk about the rappers on the rap report card. That's why I'm up here. That was my only rhetoric with them.
You already knew, like, that the No Jumper hosts were controversial. Did you have, like, any thoughts before?
Reservations?
Like, reservations where you thinking, like, okay,
And you know what? He not taking accountability. You know why? Because the same way he felt like they should have did their research about him having a podcast, he should have did his research to know what type of platform he going to. So it worked both ways, because AD&T Rell didn't carry on with you no different than anybody else, man. And that's why they podcasting is really set up for like more of a friendship, homie, family environment. Because they just do the 1-2 and shoot the 1-2. And they selling personality and a lot of reality and a lot of truth. And they got a big old fan base. So, you know, get off their job. Maybe you can learn something, man. You just hating on them so bad. And I actually got some level of respect on what the DEJON Paul dude be trying to do with that report card stuff. You know, somebody got to do it. You know, and give people a conversation, put people in conversations. Sometimes he might shed some light on somebody that nobody else knew was rapping. So it's all beneficial. But all the high horse and belittling and pointing and disrespecting, playing the police games, don't want to fight, all that stuff, I can't agree with.
That's what I'm saying.
You definitely should have. I had reservations. Yeah, absolutely, I had reservations.
Because I mean, even though it wasn't a at the end of the day interview, I'm not gonna act like when like T Rell was doing like his solo interviews, like I would say he was like trying to have more like mature conversations outside of the jokey joke and stuff like that. So I can understand where you might have felt like you were getting ambushed just because when he was here and was like kind of branching off, it wasn't all jokes. Like if it was at the end of the day, then I was going to be like, bro, you didn't do your research, because I haven't seen them take even their guests seriously when they've gone up there. You know what I mean?
But when
having it go left is a higher possibility. Right. But because it, like he invited you and then maybe you...
And you got to remember too, people do give more of a better interview to people that they're interested in or they're more familiar with. They was just trying to give all y'all a chance to just converse. You know, speak on how you feel about a lot of things that got to do with you. If you want to, you don't, however you want. That was really the case. But if he was going to see Rell sit down with somebody that, you know, this is like somebody that's like really, you can't even waste their time, shouldn't be wasting their time. You really interested in these questions. You know, people really want to know these questions. It's like, of course that's the case. And I feel like they was talking and asking, and, you know, they did great, homie. They did great on your behalf on giving you exposure for people to know who you were. I don't think I knew who you were prior to that, and got more of a background about you. And we, like, you defending yourself up there, even though you didn't agree, it gave more of a background on people knowing who you are, what you be fighting for, how you stand for your people, how you for the community, all of that. So you got to be mindful to know that even though you might have been upset, you was able to get some points out there, man, and give more of a expression on who you are and what you stand for, you know?
Didn't know AD was there. That's a little different, you know what I mean?
It's not about not knowing AD was there. Again, in February 2023, during our second interview again. So if you have a problem with what I said to you in the first interview, why do you invite me back for a second interview? This is from the second interview. But in our second interview, I asked you, I'm trying to hold him accountable for not doing his research on me. I said, can you name anybody who's been on the Danley magazine cover? Did you why didn't you know I did the podcast? He said, go check it out. I don't really give a fuck. So I was like, why are you inviting me up here? Why are you inviting me somewhere if you don't care about the person that you're inviting up there? Like, so let's hold him.
Question, right? Hold up. Right. So here, right. Okay. So look. If they say,
and see, dude, just kind of ungrateful. He trying to have everything he could have under the sun. It's like, man, No Jumper them up there with 4 million subscribers. If they want to invite me to come up there and just look stupid at the camera, I'm gonna go up there and just look stupid at the camera. with a t-shirt on with my channel on it or my at on there or something like that. I'm just saying that's what anybody with some sense that's just trying to get some notoriety, get a bigger voice, or build a platform, or get more money, or get bigger in the media space, or whatever your goal might be, it helped you. Those interviews probably played a big part for you to get the job you got now. So I'm giving this advice for everybody, not just to him, but even to myself. Like sometimes we do got to focus on what did we gain from a positive standpoint as opposed to the negative.
They said, right, in 2022, he said the employee comment. Then a month later, I think Adam said the $1 million a month comment. And due to us talking to DEJON for 1 hour plus, that sort of planted the seed to where we was now planning our escape for like a year. So if they say,
escape for a year, okay.
Right, wait, right?
Saying DEJON planted the seed.
Right? If they say, yo, bro, like you are the reason why we were inspired to leave, and then they say, well, you're here now, but you told us your employee.
I told them to leave? Did I tell them to leave?
No, listen, right? So me personally, right, I definitely understand, right? But from their point of view is, if you told me this a year ago,
what did I tell you? What's the quote? What's the quote?
I don't know, right?
I did not come here for corporate consulting from employees. I stand on that. I stand on what I said. I only stand on what I said. I don't stand on what you heard. I don't stand on what you thought I said. I only stand on the words that came out my mouth. I did not come here for corporate consulting from employees.
But like they felt though that that comment though here, bro, but like they feel though,
please.
Yeah, bro, but like they feel though that like that comment was like, damn, bro, feel me? Yo, maybe we are employees and not partners as we thought.
Ain't no maybe.
Let's figure out how to.
See, it was really like a belittling thing, and it was trying to insult. You didn't give no love and respect to them being up there at No Jumper, the employees or anything. You never had no love and respect for them being in that position to even give you an invitation to go up there to do whatever you wanted to do in front of them for 1 million subscribers. You just didn't care about that. You more about just like, I don't understand it. You just coming off so ungrateful. I can't get it. It's like, you just, you this, and this, and that. And you talking about some people that done successfully builded all kind of different platforms and content things. You know what I mean? I mean, you got Figg, the show. You got At the End of the Day. You got Back on Figg. You got Cuhmunity. You got Ace Boys Worldwide. You got Rell in the morning. You got Heather's and Smack Cocktails. You got Ladies Night. You got The Apollo. You got man, I apologize if I forget anything though. And they just got, and then segments, like you got stuff for Rio, you got stuff for Hov, like all this stuff going on. So it's like, even if they didn't do their full homework on you with everything you got going on, maybe you should have took that advice, because it do look like they kind of know what they doing in that media space. Like, you know, everything ain't what it seems like. Like, you look at it like AD and Rell being up there as employees at No Jumper, it's not the same as like Flacco. Nobody ever knew who he was. He come from North Dakota. Boom. It's not the same as it's just not the same for everybody. Just like Brick Baby or Almighty Suspect, or you know, like these are Sharp. Like these are like people like that's like running around like somebody. Now I'm sure everybody got a some level background before they probably get a job up here. I don't know, some people, but it's just not the thing. Like these are people that's kind of like are like having household names pretty much before the whole No Jumper campaign, you know? So you got to respect that. And you wasn't giving no respect.
Leave and be bosses, and then, you know, if they credit you for that, now they say, oh, damn, but now you're in my spot. You feel me? And that's how they feel. Not whether they're right or wrong.
Hey man, feel like that.
Yeah.
Feel like that every day of the week. I do not care. I'm just tired of talking about a word. Talk about the sentence I said. Don't talk about the word. You talking about the employee word. You forgetting the I did not come here for corporate consultant part from employees part. You just talking about employees. Talk about the whole word. I don't want to talk. The whole sentence. I don't want to talk about it.
Question, right? AJ, right? So yeah. Why do you think? Again, this is beyond them, right?
Would you take some
black people in general?
Would you be mad at someone calling you an employee?
Am I a boss for real? If I'm a boss for real, and if I don't give a fuck about what another nigga got to say, it is water on the duck's back. That's why that's what I'm basically trying to say.
You can be a boss and employee at the same time. If he said that in the clip once, like it's really like so.
He said he a boss at Cuhmunity and an employee at No Jumper. Just like I'm an employee at No Jumper, I have a Dana Lane magazine. I have RapReportCards.com. I have Rappaport Card Live on Triller and Versus TV. I have other businesses. I just come here and do my thing here.
Get my brand.
And go do what I do at other platforms, at my platforms. It's nothing wrong with it. I've never once said it. If you could show me a clip of me.
Nah, because in that conversation, you were supposed to respect people's mind. You wasn't respecting people's mind and the knowledge that they know or the game they got or respecting them. You was respecting the chair they were sitting in at that time. That's what you did. You talking about you an employee when it don't mean nothing. It's just like, yeah, you might be an employee, but it's like, say if Adam called, who can I give a grade? Yeah, like say if Adam, just an example, not really true, but just an example. Like say if Adam called, who's big as a mug, like who's popping, like just like Jay-Z. So if Adam got Jay-Z to come up there and work the whole podcast for a week or whatever he do, and he's employed by No Jumper, I mean, you gonna be talking about like you was an employee, like you gonna be throwing these things around, or are you gonna still respect him for all these accomplishments and everything that they showing you that they're intelligent about? So you got confused. Like they say, quit judging a book by its cover. And you didn't want to get what was in the book. You kept just jabbing at the cover of the book. So it came off very offensive.
Denouncing somebody for working, and that doesn't make sense. I was outside Power 106 saying, y'all don't hire black DJs with a sign. No LA rappers with me. 80 wasn't there. T-Rell was there. I was outside with a sign. This was on the news. I was protesting Power 106. There was other people there, but no other rappers.
You got to remember, everybody fight is different, and everybody approach to the fight is different. You a person that's like, you need to do that. Nobody really knew who you was, or, you need to do that. 80 and them, they just got to kind of elevate black people or empower black people as much as they can through their succeeding with their businesses and their platforms. Because they at that level. People rock with them. Look at the sponsors. So you just can't compare it. You know what I mean? It's like, Jay-Z don't need to go out there and hold no sign. He just got to keep helping with prison reform and, doing what he do with his donations and speaking whenever he get a chance to speak against certain things that's unjust or wrong. So, you can't, and if he wanted to, he can, however it go. But I'm just saying, you can't be just assuming everybody got to take the same route you take when it comes to a battle.
Right. So how can I do that? But then but you saying that I'm saying that it's wrong to be an employee if I'm fighting for people to get hired.
Yeah. I would say from the outside as a viewer, I was surprised when you did start making more appearances here and showing up on the news, just because the energy that you do come off with and what you were saying, it sounded like I'm not working for no white man. That was the energy that I had, and it wasn't.
Where did I say that? Where did I?
No.
I go with words. I'm a journalist, so I give words. I'm an eloquent writer, so I give words.
So listen to the words that I'm saying. Okay. So what I'm saying is the energy that's coming off was that.
Oh, you didn't say that. That's not tangible. You didn't say that, but yeah. Hand me a piece of paper and a pen. Hand me a piece of paper and a pen so he can draw the energy that's coming off him. Because that's not tangible. I can only deal with words. I said in English. did not, in English, I only speak one language. I'm not fluent in any other language. Yeah. In the English language, I said I did not come here for corporate consulting from employees.
I'm just
you're talking about the energy that's coming off of you.
I'm just telling you what it looks like. What it looks like to people at home.
Please show me what it looks like. I would like you to draw. I
just told you.
Y'all got Mr. Report Card.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're not listening.
I hear very well. I hear very well. What you're talking about abstract things. I can only deal in tangible, concrete. I need to see it.
Yo, preach.
That's my cognitive style.
Wait,
it's true.
Tangibility.
But like in general, though, man. Why do black folks have an issue with the word employee?
All right, so that was it pretty much. They're going to probably go off into a whole lot of stuff, but I pretty much had your attention long enough. Thank y'all for tuning in with me, you know. And y'all could go watch the rest of that over there at No Jumper, the full thing. I think it's like a 40-30 minute video or something like that. Catch the rest of that half or something. I think I covered like half of it or something. And it is what it is, though. Shout out to everybody, man. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. And I'm out.